Okay. Am I live? Let's see if I'm live. Okay. Am I live? Let's see. I believe I'm live. I see me moving around and stuff. Yes, I do. Okay. All right. I'm here. Um, and I'm live there. I'm on the Instagrams. Let me do that. I am now live up on the YouTubes. Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit, a minute out or thereabouts. I was just fucking around with something that I hadn't played literally in God knows, 30 years, 35 years, something like that. However, is a favorite part of a favorite album of mine, of course. Those of anyway, I'm sorry, I'm digressing already. I haven't even introduced myself. For those of you who may be new to the cranberry juice, yes, yeah. So this is it's Sunday, February fucking 19th already. Jesus, I mean we're pretty much moving into the last week of February of 2023. That's fucking nuts. But it is Sunday night. It's part of a long weekend for those of us who will be quote unquote celebrating. I almost said Pizza Day. I don't know. I don't know if I have pizza on the brain. I've had a lot of pizza this past week, so maybe that's what it is. Not actually looking to have pizza, but President's Day. President's Day. We're talking about President's Day tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a long weekend. So I look forward to whenever I can take time off and get paid for it. Hey, um, so there you go. But it's I am Joe Auger. I am your bundle of sunshine. I am live on the Instagrams and on the YouTubes. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's 5 o'clock on the West Coast. Let's see. It's officially the next day in New Zealand and Australia. Um, Over in Switzerland, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I think that's right. I think that's right. And you know, I mean, whether it's right or not, but actually, what I can do is I can go to the world clock, and it just goes again. We're talking, perspective. We're talking perspective, and yeah. And so in London, it's 1:05 a.m. So folks are just pretty much heading to sleep. They don't practice President's Day. It's not a there. Yeah, oxygen. Um, yeah, it's if you look at the world clock here, it's 1 o'clock in the morning in London. So if there's any of my English friends that might still be up, who knows? Maybe they're seeing this. Tokyo, it's the next day. It's already 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday, so their work week has started already. Um, but you can go to this website that basically is the world clock worldwide. So if I wanted to, again, Sweden, as I mentioned, and Stockholm is about 2 o'clock in the morning. So do the math of how many hours that is. I only say it is because it's I kind of like the fact of being live. From my little office in my little house in my little state, and shooting the shit with nobody in particular and everybody in general, or something like that. And for anybody who gives a shit, wants to hang out, or has nothing else better to do, or it's the kind of thing where, like, had a visitor from Switzerland a bit back in December. Actually, it was somebody who just kind of came up and on the Instagrams, and it's like and it was like 9 o'clock here, and I was just like, what the hell time is it? It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And this guy was just working. He was actually works for a record company called Crispin Glover Records. Anybody who knows who Crispin Glover is knows, if you know, you know, Crispin Glover, the actor, has his own sort of record label overseas that he oversees, and they make great album packages and things. So I happened to be just online, and they knew who they. I don't know if they follow me or not, but they saw that I was live, and they just kind of put me on in the background. That's cool, because I chat for a while, and I play some music for a while, and then I go away for a day, another day. I'm just realizing I am currently on my cat's live. Hang on one second. Sorry. So for all you YouTube folks, I am I fucked up my Instagram here. I'm gonna put it in as test for now. Done. So basically, what happened is that I'm actually shoot. I have to come back and redo my online Instagram because I'm somehow using my cat's account to be live, and I really need to be using mine. Hang on. Yeah, so I should be going live from there is what I should be doing. So any of my Instagram people hopefully will be seeing this now, and it's checking the connection. Come on now. You were live just a second ago. What's your problem? Come on. Yeah, okay. Great. That's all I was hoping for to happen. Okay. Okay, I think I fixed it. I forgot. So I go back and forth on the Instagram. I have my own account, and then of course I have an account for Jack Squatch, my cat, who is I don't know somewhere. Sometimes he likes to hang out behind me, and he'll come eventually and bother me for his nightly treats. Like you do, and which I will do after the session's over. I will go and have, and because it's Sunday and I don't have to work tomorrow, I can put on a movie or do something. I don't know. Actually, I've been online re-binging the Cracked series. Now, Cracked used to be it used to be it used to be, and I still may be a one. I'm not sure. But so when I was growing up, late 70s, mostly, there was Mad Magazine, of course, and then there was Cracked Magazine. Those were the two main ones. There was also one called Crazy, which was kind of a wannabe, not really that good. And then there was various others, but so I there was this show called After Hours, and it's what it is that it's basically four people that get together in a diner late night, which is my favorite time of the night for stuff like this, and it's actually pretty amazing what they do and how they do it. It's sort of So they just basically they dissect pop culture and make it really interesting connectivity between different types of mostly movies and television for the most part. obviously it's very high in the nerd, ratio there, and I really kind of love it. It's the kind of shit that I think about, and obviously so. But these are also writers, so these they have like a talk about a rarefied kind of take on things. I think is what it comes down to. So so I've been actually binging that lately because that's my OCD kicking in. I tend to binge. At one point, I was kind of in the middle of binging the Barney Miller series. I still have to do that, but I stopped paying on. It's on Prime Video, and I'm kind of on hiatus, paying for extra stuff for the moment. So I'm just on YouTube watching it up there because it's free. And but anyway, yeah, blah 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 blah. So I will do that later on tonight, probably. Watch some more of those, fart around, and just have something to eat or whatever. Because I can stay up late if I want. That's assuming my body wants me to stay up late. Last night, it's like Saturday night, I do my show. I was done at about 9:30 or so, and I pretty much hit the wall, and about an hour later, I was just like on the couch and I'm just doing the fucking nodding. It's like I'm trying to stay awake. It's Saturday night, god damn it. I have still the thing in my head that like if I go to bed early on like a Friday or a Saturday night, that somehow that means I'm a failure as a consumer of pop culture or music or whatever the hell you might want to call it. So and this past Friday I did go to a show in Boston. Even to the point though, but it's gotten to the point at my age where even though it was Kimbra and I paid a bunch of money to go see, do a meet and greet and to see her show and all this, it's just I actually don't really look forward to. I don't mind the drive. The drive is fine. It's just once you're in Boston proper and you have to start dealing with other people in traffic, it's like, ugh. Yeah, that's not fun. And then the parking and then the thing and once you're at the venue, then yeah, everything's fine, I suppose. The Friday was a whole other nightmare of things that happened with the parking and the parking garage that wasn't close. It wasn't the closest to the venue. It was not 8 minutes or 3 minutes from the venue. It was more like 15 minutes from the venue walking, you assholes. And it was like wreathed in fucking a scaffolding, so you couldn't even find how the fuck you enter to the thing. It was like not clear. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with these fucking things? Anyway, finally get to the thing. Long story short, I park, I walk, I get to the venue, I get to the meet and greet, I finally settle down. There's seats to sit at, which was awesome. And then I just happened to like look at my parking thing. I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking, shit, was I supposed to take a ticket even though I had paid? So I look at the thing and I look at the instructions and it says, and it says very clearly, it says, do not park anywhere where it says reserved. Even though the whole point of the fucking site or the app is to reserve a fucking parking spot, right? Fucking humans. But no, don't park in a place that says reserve so basically what it comes down, people park in that parking garage because it's a part of this thing called the Sudbury condominium. So people live there. That's their parking spot, So, but I'm already at the club at this point and I have to fucking make a decision now. And it's I'm digressing. So anyway, so I'm there and the music has started basically, or it's louder. It's already loud enough to be like, whatever. And I'm in the club. I'm on my cell phone. There's a phone number to call. I call it, and it's about 7:30. And someone answers. Someone actually answers, who I can understand. And I explain to them the situation, and they're sympathetic enough. They put me on hold, not for and then they get back on the horn and they go, yeah, well, we understand your situation, and you can either hope that there's no other parking in the parking lot, which will mean you will probably be fine. However, you could potentially get towed or ticketed or something. And it's just like, oh, fuck me. So, and there's really nothing like, it's like, look, you have all my information. That can you put a note on the car? Nothing. They really can't do it. It's like, And they reiterated, it's like, well, we did put it in the fucking thing to read, and they did, and I didn't, and so I couldn't really be mad at them. This was a situation where customer service worked the way it was supposed to, and just basically reiterated to me that I was the asshole in this situation. AITA? Mm-hmm. Yes. So I hang up on that, and I try to figure out what the fuck am I going to do here. Do I just leave? Do I, to go move my car, or what? And so, and this is obviously with the thought in mind. It's like they're not going to let me out. Most places will not. Once you're in to see a show, even though it's sort of not really like the typical kind of venue. I mean, it's a it's a bar situation, but it's got a stage. It's like they give you a wristband and the whole thing and whatever. But it's not like a regular club where they let you go out and then you can come back or something if they know that you've paid. So, however, I see someone talking to someone who clearly looks like he's the muckety muck of the place. I go up to him and say, look, and I tried my best to just be my humblest, just saying, look, I kind of fucked up. It's like I parked in a place where I'm not supposed to park. And I might get towed, and I just like, is it possible if I were to go to move my car, would I be able to get back into the venue? Like I've paid, I've got my wristband, like it was very clear, And this guy took pity on me. And I don't think he would have done it for everybody. I think it was like I think I might have got lucky. It's like I was the one guy he was going to do it for that night. My timing was good. And he just said, all right, yeah, no, tell you what, go move your car. I'm going to introduce you to the door people so that when you come back, they will know your face. So I go get my car, my coat, and my crap, and I meet him at the door, and he introduces me to the two, security folks that are letting people in or whatever. So I try to get to my car as quickly as I can. And again, I'm walking in Boston, as quick as my little horrible 58-year-old damaged knees will take me. And then and still trying to find like which way I went, with my cell phone. Finally get to the thing. Finally get to my car. Still there. Awesome. Okay. So I move the car from what ends up what was from the 3rd level to the 8th level, where that was the only place. Because, the way that they work it is that there are certain levels that are all for the condominiums. And then there's the regular levels, which were full, of course, by that point, because it was also at the Boston Garden downstairs at the TD Garden was Carrie Underwood. So, that was full of people. So finally find a place up on the 8th level that doesn't say reserved. Still not horribly sure, but, whatever. So I park and I leave and I go down and I schlep back to the club. And now at this point, I'm a pro. I know exactly where the fuck I'm going. And sure enough, the guys see me. They clearly recognize who I am because I'm not hard to miss. And they waft me back in, and I go real quick to the men's room, and just as I'm getting finished, Kimbra's just about starting her show. So I didn't miss a note. Didn't miss a beat. And so it was one of those things. It's like, well, I took a shot. I shot my shot. But I was prepared to just sort of say, I can't risk getting my car towed in Boston on a Friday fucking night with, not a lot of money to my name. So there was some sort of online thing that was saying like, yeah, you don't want to get your car towed in Boston. In Boston, what they do is they tow your car. They charge you $30 every half hour that they've got it. Do the math of that, how fucked up that is. Anyway, so so I get back. I don't miss a beat. I find another place to go. I see someone that I know happened to be, at the show as well from Rhode Island, and it was nice to see him again. And take my place at a nice place to sit at the side kitty at the stage or whatever, and took some photos and some videos and enjoyed the show thoroughly, And then finally it was done after the last encore, and I head back outside, and it's freezing fucking cold out, and I get back, and my car's still there on the 8th level. Thankfully, the QR code that had let me in let me out as well, so it wasn't that I had to take another ticket or anything weird. So, and then it's always a challenge leaving Boston, just making sure you're on the right. There's so much construction; it's fucking insane. Um, so, and I'm one of those guys, especially as I've gotten older. It's like I usually put music on my way out, of course, of Boston. And as a tradition, I would usually do a mix that I've made of Pink Floyd's "A Saucer Full of Secrets" album, but I've made my own track listing to include everything that they recorded with Syd Barrett after the first album, the single stuff, the stuff that was unreleased, just a bunch of stuff made for an elongated album of a little closer to what, I would, in my mind, I think of that album. And that's actually my favorite way to listen to it. Anyway, that's my traditional leaving Boston soundtrack. Somehow it had not, it didn't translate back into my fucking cell phone. So I'm on my phone while driving in Boston, trying to find the right roads to go down, because I have also my MapQuest on, and I'm also trying to dial in my fucking iTunes I'm trying to find my soundtrack music. God damn it, can't find my soundtrack music. Shit. So I had to stop. I mean, I was going to fucking get into an accident or something. So I finally get on the right exit, and now I'm heading the right way. So I decide, all right, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna listen to another one of my mixes, which was the Monkees, the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees, as if it was a double album. Long story short, I got home, everything's fine, everything's great, and I got home on Friday night. What time did I get home? It was about like 11:30, 11:45, something like that. So well within a reasonable amount of time. And promptly, dropped off pretty quickly. So that's my nights these days, Fridays and Saturdays. It's like I'm usually out like a light by 12 o'clock. Very rarely that I'm up beyond anything, unless I've been like just caffeinating myself to death, which I'm really trying hard not to do, because the thing I know, as I get older, it's harder and harder to find good sleep. Find a good sleep night. Not talking about the various health issues that get in the way of that anyway on a good day. But anyway, yeah. So Fridays and Saturday nights, it's like there's this thing, or this young person inside of me that just wants to stay up all night like I used to, and listen to music and watch movies and I used to try to I used to do stupid shit too. I used to try to stay awake for the longest I stayed awake was, I want to stay 4 days without sleep. It was a really stupid experiment, it's shit you do when you're in your early 20s and you think you're invincible. It's, but I didn't read anywhere that, after 4 days or 5 days of no sleep that you could potentially die, and probably would die. It's like, I didn't think of that. I just like, it's like, what would it be like to stay awake for 4 days straight? Like an idiot. Anyway. And, I did those things. Because, I don't know, there's something about the late night and the quiet of, everybody asleep but you. There's a beautiful isolation to it, that I have always been attracted to as a loner type. And, and still am, 58 years old. I'm single as a motherfucker. I don't have kids. I have a cat. Most of my friends I can count on one hand. Most of them are on Facebook. But that said, when I talk about friends, I think about, again, a lot of the people that I know, I keep track of them on Facebook, because, we're all scattered around, obviously, these days. So it was kind of, fun, even briefly, kind of just seeing somebody from the old days of the Custom House Tavern as part of the Route 44 band, Judson. He was at the Kimber show, and he recognized me. Again, most people recognize me. I very rarely recognize someone else. It was also a dark club, so somehow he recognized me. I must have. I don't really look much different from those days, but then it was like, even this past week, the beginning of the week, or was it the week before? I forget when it was. I had to do an errand in Providence, like downtown from, and I was doing a shift at work, and I had to do a real quick errand. So I was walking downtown Providence, which, not my favorite thing to do in the world. And two people within the space of about 20 seconds came up on me. But they're all friends of mine, and it's like, but and I haven't seen them in person, and I don't know, I mean, we're talking a long time, 25, 30 years, some shit like that. I've kept up with them on Facebook, but just in person, they're part of the sort of the old AS220 guard in the 90s, and everybody from that time period are either, well, they're either scattered or they're dead, or dead and scattered, for that matter. So it's always sort of good to see a few folks that are clearly as graying as I am, but knowing that they're still doing their thing, and they're still hanging out in Rhode Island and doing their thing or whatever, and healthy enough, I suppose. So, so the one good thing about Facebook is just being able to keep track of those kinds of folks that you have had in your life, and people that you've worked with, or creatively, or whatever. One of them was a sax player friend of mine from the AS220 days, and Kevin Sullivan, and he used to play saxophone in the Neo 90s dance band. And he also played sax on a few productions of things that I had done. I hired him in to play solo sax on a few things. And the other fellow was Alan Lewis, who's a friend of a friend as well, and used to hang out with him at AS220, and they'd invite me to their house every once in a while, and they'd get baked while I watched them get baked. It's not my speed. Anyway, so yeah, so varied week, which is interesting, because the thing I've been trying to do is be more balanced in my work life and in my regular life, and I think I have forgotten what all that means. I have been so ensconced in work brain for the past 20 years. I circumstance is what it is. It's like, I do the first, 6-7 years or whatever of my work life. And during those same 7 years were also the first 7 years of my sobriety, which were tough. They talk about someone being a dry drunk, or they talk about somebody being, basically, you're a recovering alcoholic, and those first 5 to whatever years is, if you're working on it, it's difficult. It's really hard, and it's like the thing for me was, and I, again, knock wood, lucky me that I did not fall off that horse. Almost did, pretty close, around, I want to say around that mark, 7 or 8 years in, or something like that. I was doing work, but my head was just all about work, and just, I don't know. I feel like I don't have a hell of a lot of memories of my regular life during this time. I'd have to go back. I'd have to just actively go back, and look at it. I can certainly remember certain relationships and things, for good or bad. There are some things I wish I could forget, but it's difficult when you write songs about relationships that didn't work, as those songs kind of roll with you. So then, on that point where I might have had a chance to, I don't know, have a different brain, setting, brain mode. My mother gets kind of dropped in my lap, and I have to take care of her, in essence. She's in a nursing home or whatever, but I'm her power of attorney. I'm basically the person they call if there's a problem, blah, blah, blah. I was the last in the line to take care of her. First, my oldest, my sister, my oldest sibling, my sister, took care of her for a while in Arizona. Then after a while could not take care of her, or it just wasn't working out, and my brother took her back to South Carolina for a while. And then when that wasn't working out, well, it's like, all right, let's get her back home, get her the care she needs up here, and There's just more of a facility up here in New England for old folks, and there really wasn't in both Arizona and South Carolina. Oddly enough, they just don't have the same infrastructure to take care of their elderly, which is kind of scary. But there you go. Got her into the system, got her into her bed, and she, that was again 2008, I believe, and she passed in 2017. You do the math. That's 9 years thereabouts, and almost to the day. It was like June to June, really. I think that's right. Right, June to June. When the hell did she pass? Yeah, close enough. Anyway, I'm trying to remember the dates now. Anyway, but during that 9 year period, I'm still working. I still got to work my ass off. I'm still trying to be a sober person. I'm still trying to do music work, and I was doing, the open mics and stuff and this and that, and albums and all. So, I mean, I was keeping busy, but I feel like I was unconscious through all of it. I'm only kind of piecing things together now that I feel like I've got a little bit more of a clarity to it, I guess. But I wasn't really, I still wasn't really focused on my, I don't know, my center, if that makes sense, or my balance. I was just tipped over to the work part of it. Because as far as I'm concerned, my mother was part of that. I had to, even though I wasn't physically daily taking care of her, I still had to, I was the person they called when there was a problem. I was the person they called when, the nurse accidentally dumped her out of the wheelchair and she broke her fucking arm, Fun shit, or something happened, she had to go to the hospital, or whatever the fucking, or doctor's appointments, or whatever it was. I mean, that was part of my job. In essence, I mean, it was a whole part-time job that I didn't get paid for, by the way, along with my regular job, and then doing the music stuff. And so I didn't really have enough time or really to think about myself or my mental health. So I was a fucking nightmare. At least I remember it as such. I'm not saying there were never good things that happened or, but I just, my memories are just cloudy of the time. And, so and during that time, 2017, buy a new car and start the process of buying this house. And I closed on the house on June 15th. And my mother passed away right at the end of June. It was like a few days before what would have been her, whatever birthday it was. 84th, I want to say she would have been, something like that. So yeah, fuck. It's like, I'm in the middle of moving my entire life from an apartment that I had been in for like 17 years or something in Tiverton, and also starting like a new production on a record for a friend of mine, Steve Job, that same year. Like stupid, just like it feels stupid, just the amount of work I was doing. I don't know. You just don't think of shit. Anyway, so that's the circumstance of me not being able to do things too. I went to plenty of shows and I went to plenty of things, but there came a point where it was just sort of, I feel like I lost a certain amount of my plot, if that makes any sense. Not that I had a plot. I like to think in the past that I had some sort of a plot. But I don't know, maybe I didn't have a plot to begin with. Maybe this is all just exposition leading up to a plot. So, here we are 6 years-ish later. Almost 6 years. I'm still in the house, but, finances are not good. Health is better on some levels for sure, but, other levels I'm getting older and things are just difficult. However, the things that I'm trying to do this year is manifest destiny. I'm trying my hardest to manifest for the year of 2023, which is not, I'm trying to manifest financially. I am trying to manifest mentally in a positive manner. I'm trying to point myself. I am trying to center my energies somehow. More specifically, trying to balance my work life, my work/life, time spent on each thing. So, if I've got like March coming up, I've got 31 days. All right, right. So, 16, 17 days thereabouts of work. I need to I'm trying to look at every single month that I go by with my little whiteboard calendar and go, how many days am I fucking working here? Now, I'm also covering for the fact that we're 2 people down in our department, so I'm covering for that. So it's skewed a little bit, so I'm trying to keep that into account. However, I need the extra money, blah, 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 blah. So we're all juggling, right? Anyway, so I just repeat the manifestations of the things that I want to do. And this all leads back to where I started, which was talking about me doing this in the first place on radio or on talking to people that are up in the middle of the night in Switzerland or whatever. It's an old story of things that I wanted to do when I was a kid. I always wanted to be on a microphone and be a DJ or be on the radio, and I'm still looking at that possibility to do something right along that line where I'm literally playing music as if I'm a DJ. I've got to get some other ducks in a row first before I can go that far, but I'm researching it. So along with just being live like this with the stuff I have in my house, and the thoughts that I have in my head, and the music that I have on my fingers, I can do something. I can't do much, but I can do something. And a few people here or there on both the Instagrams and the YouTubers. I appreciate you coming down to listen. I think in general, it works pretty much the same as it would with any kind of a radio situation where you kind of tune in the dial and you try and find somebody talking or playing music or whatever it is, and even the other night coming from Boston, the radio suddenly the connectivity between my cell phone and the radio went down, and the radio happened to be tuned to something, and it was a Spanish station, and they were talking and chatting about something with the echo in the back, and it was like, oh my god, this is like, I feel like this is like 40 fucking years ago on tuning in the AM dial at 3 o'clock in the morning and listening to the folks talking about whatever they're talking about, the news or the call-ins or whatever, to the truckers driving through the state or whatever. That's what I wanted to do, so this is my version of that. It may not be necessarily for the truckers per se, but it is maybe for the folks that are just kind of hanging out, doing stuff at their house. Maybe they are in their cars, and that's what they do. They listen to online radio or whatever it might be. And it's difficult with YouTube and Instagram per se, but so if I were to do a live thing in a number of places like YouTube, Instagram, and say a radio show / thing that someone could dial in as a podcast or something like that. So yeah, a lot of different varying kind of ideas floating around. I'm trying to nail down the right confluence of things to work, and eventually, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would like to monetize the fuck out of this somehow. If there was enough of a base of people to listen. Excuse me. Who knows? All I can do is put it out there into the universe and manifest and say, as they say, I hate the line "fake it till you make it," because I fucking hate the line. I just really hate it for some reason. But they do say it's like, well, just do it pretend as if it's already happened. So that's what I'm doing. I'm pretending that I am speaking to a large base of people that are listening, that I have commercials coming up that I have to read. I might even just write some fake ones just for shits and giggles, just to see how it feels, And other than that, yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. So, so I've been chatting for about 40 minutes or so. I figure I can put on the guitar, play some songs before I, call it a night. But And for those that have been potentially tuning in since I've started doing this in December, um, when I'm playing, I'm kind of rehearsing. I'm trying to get my fingers back in shape. I'm getting my voice back in shape. I'm trying to gauge like what I can and can't do anymore because again, I I went a while really without doing like regular playing and singing, and it's like weightlifting. It's like if you stop doing it, man, those muscles are going to atrophy like a motherfucker, and they're going to atrophy faster, you know, because they're used to playing on a regular basis, and then suddenly you're not doing that. It's just like, well, dude. So I feel like there's a lot of ground that I have to try to catch up with. So in lieu of just rehearsing on my own, which I do, or put it this way, I do now, because I've gotten back into the sort of regimen of it by doing this, by doing these rehearsals online for whoever the fuck wants to listen. Warts and all, mistakes happen. I restart songs. I'll do a song twice potentially because I want to hear it again. But it's gotten me to the point where it's like I'll think of songs that I want to do, or songs like even today, I was reminded of some songs I used to play that I haven't played in 35 years or something shit like that. So no, I'm trying to remember these things. I'm trying to remember how they go, and I'm trying to think, oh, can I still do that one maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of songs that I'm having trouble with. There's a lot of things that, especially the voice. It's just I don't know to what degree it goes. It's regarding the potential throat issues that I've been having that I didn't get the surgery for yet. It's very possible. When I do get the surgery, and I'm going to say when because I do really need it to get done. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of hope, like my friend Keith mentioned to me, that like maybe my voice will sound better. Maybe I'll gain back some of what I feel like I've lost, which is mostly like the higher falsettos that I could hit. I used to be able to hit before and hit higher notes, and my range is it's come down a little bit. So there's some songs that I used to sing a lot or sing more often, and I can't do them anymore, and I've tried. I've tried them live, and it's kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. However, there's some songs that I can push through, and they're good enough. But it's also about rehearsing and trying to see, okay, what is it about that note that I can't get? Is it just me? Like, am I in my head with the note? You know what I mean? When I hit that high note, like if I believe I can hit that note, I tend to be able to hit the note. So a lot of it's all on my fucking noggin here. I'm not practiced right now. I'm not really. I'm not at I'm not at what one would call the top of my game right now, both physically, regarding playing music or singing. I'm trying to get there, so that's what a lot of this is for. So the second half of the show is me really just rehearsing music and playing songs that I want to play, songs that are fun to play, but things that are more like kind of it's like strength training and just like I'm not doing scales, like I'm not doing because that wouldn't be entertaining. I'm trying to make it like my rehearsals entertaining, not just for myself but for anybody who might want to listen. So on that note, I think I will strap on the guitar and we'll see what we've got for the night. In the past week or so, I've been working on a few things that I'm just sort of kind of coming to grips with, and I looked at my old list of songs from my open mic days, and have gone through most of them, so was needing a new infusion. And again, it's the thing of forgetting the fun of being able to learn a song that you like or that you're into or whatever. And excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so it's sort of like that. it just sort of. So hang on, let me just try and. So one of the things that I was reminded of, because obviously I'm a big Jethro Tull fan, of course. Well, not of course, but I am. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Tull. And at one point, I had and I've learned a few bits and pieces over the years, and there's a lot of things actually that haven't played in like forever. That I want to get back to. A number of songs I didn't have time to do tonight, but like things like some of the some early stuff. Look Into the Sun, Reasons for Waiting. Saucity is a good one. There's a lot of songs actually from Ian Anderson's work that I grew up on, and I learned a lot of what I learned on guitar from those songs. But again, haven't played them in fucking forever, so might be fun to just to relearn them. It's been a long time, so So anyway, one of them is a piece from from the Passion Play album. Hang on, sorry, I'm just trying to find the right thing here. Okay. So this is gonna be a crapshoot. I mean, I played through it a little bit, but. Now, also remembering that these songs were done or were played on like a little parlor guitar, so I'm doing these on 12 strings, so this is all kind of new, real new territory for me, probably new territory for the song. But let's see what I can do here. So this may be a fucking train wreck, I really don't know. So hey, if you're interested in watching a guy like crash and fucking burn while playing a song and potentially in front of millions and millions of people right now. There's millions between the Instagram and the YouTube. I mean, there's millions of people online right now. Which would be funny if that was the case, but so far, no. Anyway, so I'm just gonna play, and hey. You can either hang or not. I appreciate you if you do hang, or if you go and you come back. I don't know. I'll be here for, at least another half hour or something like that. Anyway, so this is sort of, if anybody's familiar with the Passion Play album by Jethro Tull, this is the piece that comes in after the hare that lost his spectacles. So let's see if I can do this. We sleep by the ever-bright hole in the door. Yeah, see, right, right away, I just... Sorry. It's tricky. There's a lot of tricky fiddly bits on this one, so I'm gonna try it again. We sleep by the ever-bright hole in the door. Eat in the corner, talk to the floor. Treating the spiders who come to say please. Politely they bend at the knees. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Gentlemen talk of for souls in Kentish town. A delicate hush, the gods floating by, wishing us well, pie in the sky. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Jack Rabbit, Mr. Spawn, a new breed of love-hungry pilgrims, no bodies to feed. Show me a good man and I'll show you the door. The last hymn is sung and the devil cries more. Well, I'm all for leaving and that being done. I put in a request to take up my turn. And that forsaken paradise they call itself hell, where no one has nothing and nothing is well-meaning fool. Pick up thy bed and rise up from your gloom, smiling. Give me your hate and use the loving heathen do. Yeah, well, that was a train wreck. But there you go. So it's you know, first time playing that in 35 years on a 12 string in front of somebody. So anyway. That's what it is. It's a really tough little lick there. Trying to sing it and play it at the same time is a bitch. Tell you what, I'll do a couple of other things. I may come back to it and end my night with it because it's fun to play. Once I get it, it's just that it's it's one of those things. It's just not the easiest piece to play. I remember that's on the 3rd fret, by the way. All right, so I'm gonna play one that it's a favorite from my from the album "Painted from Memory," which is Elvis Costello and Burt Bacharach. Another one's got a kind of a funny lick to it. Set out, can we continue hidden from your find one to walk right into. You knocked me out. It was the sweetest punch. The bell goes. I can hear it ringing, but I didn't see it coming. We all say things we don't mean. You can't take it back. Now the room is spinning, but was I the last to notice? I can see I'll never win. So if you're going, then you better go to him. Then you better go to him. I only saw stars. I dropped my guard, and that's how it ended. What was I to do in the blue corner where I seemed to hang suspended? And with seconds to go, you delivered the blow. Here I go. You dropped the band, I can't understand it, not after all we've been through. Words start to fly, my glass jaw, and I will find one to walk right into. You knocked me out. It was the sweetest punch. The bell goes. I can hear it ringing, but I didn't see it coming. We all say things we don't mean. You can't take it back. Now the room is spinning, but was I the last to notice? Well, I can see I'll never win. So if you're going, then you better go to him. Then you better go to him. Apparently I dropped the... Yeah. If you heard a noise in the middle of that, well, there was a noise in the middle of that. Anyway. But that's a new favorite of mine to play. Because I can play it and I can sing it. And it's not horribly... I just have to rehearse it a little bit more, that's all. Let's see. I didn't really have a lot planned tonight, to be honest. I know I played those last night. Well, I could try this one. So, okay, it looks like I'm back. For a split second, it said I had no data going. I can see my feed. It says I'm live. I'll go with that. is laughing. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Clicks, clacks, riding the backs of giraffes for laughs, all right for a while. The eagle sings of castles and kings and things that go with a life of style, wanting to feel, to know what is real. Living is alive. The porpoise is waiting. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. That's the wrong chord. The end chord is actually a. Well, that was off the cuff. That was the Porpoise song. By which will, I mean, I am going to be covering on a record I'm doing, so coming up. Let's see. I don't know what I'm playing. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't really have a lot planned for tonight. That's, this is what it is. Kind of thing. Because like I said, I was looking for some new things to try to learn, for good or bad. Let's see. Try one different one here. Hang on one second. All right. Don't wait for me, I'll be along That's what I could try to do again. So, again, looking at songs that I hadn't played in a while. Yeah. Let's see, where did my capo go? And I'm doing this with the capo on a fourth. All right, so this is one that I relearned again. I hadn't done it in a while. It's one of those ones where I can't do it quite in the key it was written in anymore. It's just the notes are a little high for me. That's what capos are for, anyway. Anyway, it's a song by Fairport Convention, as written by Dave Swarbrick and Richard Thompson from the Full House era, we'll say. Let's see if I can do it. When the stone is grown to cold anneal, in crystal waters I'll be found. Cold as stone, weary to the sounds upon the wheel. Now be thankful for good things below. Now be thankful to your Maker. For the rose, the red rose blooms for all who know. Wow, fucked that up bad. I'm gonna try that again. Again, disclaimer. When the stone is grown to cold anneal, in crystal waters I'll be found. Cold as stone, weary to the sounds upon the wheel. Now be thankful for good things below. Now be thankful to your Maker. For the rose, the red rose blooms for all who know. When the fire's grown too fierce to breathe, in burning irons I'll be found. Fiercest fire, weary to the sounds upon the wheel. I'll be thankful for good things below. I'll be thankful to your Maker. For the rose, the red rose blooms for all who know. When the stone is grown to cold anneal, in crystal waters I'll be found. Cold as stone, weary to the sounds upon the wheel. Now be thankful for good things below. Now be thankful to your Maker. For the rose, the red rose blooms for all who know. I always like that song. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do those. I think what I'm going to try, I'm going to do, well, I'm going to try it. One more time. Before I end the night. Let's see. Well, now I just have to try and sing over that. That's the trick. I've read about that. The brain facility to play music live, singing and playing an instrument at the same time, is a highly, highly complex set of things going on that your brain has to calculate to make work. Problem is with reading something like that, it then gets into your head. So I just need to sort of do it and try to do my best to... I'll see what I can do. I'll try it one more time, and then I'll do my last song, and then we'll call it a night. We sleep by the ever bright hole in the door. Meet in the corner, talk to the floor. Cheating the spiders who come to say please. Politely they bend at the knees. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Old gentlemen talk of when they were young, of ladies lost, of erring sons. Lace-covered dandies revel with friends. Pure as the truth, hide at both ends. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Scented cathedral, spire pointed down. We pray for souls in Kentish town. A delicate hush, the gods floating by, wishing us well by in the sky. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. God of time. Mine is the right to be wrong. Well, I'll go to the food to Vasquez. Jack Rabbit Mister spawned a new breed of love-hungry pilgrims, no bodies to feed. Show me a good man and I'll show you the door. The last hymn is sung and the devil cries more. Well, I'm all for leaving and that being done. I put in a request to take up my turn in that forsaken paradise that calls itself hell, where no one has nothing and nothing is well meaningful. Pick up thy head and rise up from your gloom, smiling. Give me your hate and do as the loving heathen do. They got better. We got better. That's all that matters. Thank you for going through that with me, but now I have a better sense of the piece a little bit in my fingers. On that note, though, I am gonna just do my now traditional end piece because it puts it all in perspective. Just remember that you're standing on a planet that's evolving and revolving at 900 miles an hour. That's orbiting at 19 miles a second, so it's reckoned a sun that is the source of all our power. The sun and you and me and all the stars that we can see are moving at 1,000,000 miles a day. And the outer spiral arm at 40,000 miles an hour of the galaxy we call the Milky Way. Our galaxy itself contains 100 billion stars. It's 100,000 light years side to side. It bulges in the middle 16,000 light years thick, but out by us it's just 3,000 light years wide. With 30,000 light years from galactic central point, we go round every 200 million years. And our galaxy is one of only millions and billions in this amazing and expanding universe. The universe itself keeps on expanding and expanding in all of the directions it can whiz. As fast as it can go at the speed of light, 12 million miles a minute, and that's the fastest speed there is. So remember when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazingly unlikely is your birth. And pray that there's intelligent life somewhere up in space, 'cause there's bugger all down here on Earth. Yeah. And that's present company excluded, of course. I always have to say that because y'all have been hanging out. Y'all, I mean, the few 100,000 million people that are here. Not to negate those that are here. So, but I don't know who's been in and who's been out. It's a Saturday night. Saturday nights don't tend to be a busy night for when I do these. Oddly, it seems like I get more traction during the week, but that's a tough time for me to do, obviously, because I'm working. However, I plan on doing a show tomorrow night. Under the assumption that nothing will intervene, as far as that goes, health-wise or whatever. At one point, I did think today, as I was doing my shopping before I came back and rested for. So like while I was shopping, moving the car around, I was just starting to feel a little lightheaded, a little nauseous, a little kind of woozy, and I had given plasma earlier on in the day, this morning. And they always say, well, make sure you eat and you're well hydrated before you come and do the plasma thing because, the possible side effects are a number of different things. But I've been fine pretty much. It's, what it comes down to is I came home and I didn't, and it's about the same time. It's about between like 4:30, 6 o'clock or something. If I haven't been hydrating correctly because I'm stupid and I'm old, I get dizzy and I don't, so it's just not a good thing. And one wonders why people, carry the fucking water bottle with them. It says no data. No, am I live or am I not? What's going on? But anyway, yeah. So I, on my way out, grabbed a tea, got back into the car. By the time I got home, I was fine. Stupid. Hydrate, folks. Hydrate yourselves, especially when you get beyond, 55, 55 years old, because your youth, the lubrication and the stuff that a youthful body potentially can do for you. Well, it doesn't anymore. Mine certainly doesn't. So, so stay hydrated. We'll leave with that on that note. So anyway, I've been Joe Auger. I'm your bundle of sunshine. It has been Sunday. Excuse me. Yes, it has been Sunday, February 19th. It feels like Saturday. Wait, is it Saturday? No, it's not. It's Sunday. Wow, I'm stupid. See, this is what happens on a long weekend, right? So it's not a bad thing. The fact that I've lost complete track of time over the past like 2 days or whatever. I think that's a good thing. It means that I'm not like harped on fucking work, So, yes, it is Sunday. It is 9:30, and so for those of you that don't have to work tomorrow, enjoy your sleep in, because I plan on doing that, and get some other stuff done, get some life stuff done. If life stuff for you is cleaning the sink, then clean the sink, whatever it is. For me, it'll be, I don't know, a few things I want to try to get done. So, but anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave it. I will talk to you tomorrow night, same time, 8 o'clock. It'll be Monday, and it'll be just ahead of the work week. For me, it's a shortened week because I'm also taking Friday off, so I'll only be working 3 days. So depending on how stressed out I am after my Thursday shift in Providence, who knows? Maybe I'll do a Thursday show. It's a crapshoot. Thursday being the 23rd, and then I have another. Well, it's in essence it's a long weekend, so it'll be the 24th, 25th, and 26th. And I'm doing a short shift on the 26th, but whatever. So hopefully more shows sooner than later. We'll see. I will try to maybe do a Thursday show, so there's only a couple of days in between. I know you're all chomping at the bit about that because, God knows you can't do without your daily dose of the bundle of sunshine, right? So this has been your daily dose of the bundle of sunshine. Daily dose of sunshine? A bundle of your daily dose of sunshine? A daily dose of your sunshine bundle? I'm not sure how best to say that, but, it's those words in whatever the fuck order you prefer. Anyway. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good evening, and don't take any wooden igloos.